Yeah, I just hit stream. Are you good? Ugh, so unprepared. So late. Oh, damn it. I didn't mean to put episode 1. Oops. I guess this can be like a... This'll be a redo episode 1, because last week I just fucked around and see who came around. Ugh. Alright. Shoot. Let me turn my microphone down. Alright. How we doing? Oh. Do some housekeeping around here, let everyone flood in. Actually, let me not do that. Why is it? Oh, I know why it's fucked up. What are we feeling? If I put on a video. What? Fucking Tony Hawk? What the hell? Okay, you know what? We're gonna go this. Alright, I need to figure out how to get my damn Twitch chat. We're gonna do the scuff way. Yes. Get this the fuck out of here. Okay, now... Oh, there it is. Well, that was easy. Now we're gonna put you. Boom. I like it. Oh. See what happens when chat fills up, though. Ah. Lock that. Go back to my. I would like to watch that.
He says.
What minute are we at already? Ooh, can't see shit. 6 minutes in. Okay. Thank you for the help, Naynar, for picking out the best cast from over this past week. Alright, I probably need to do a blast off cast, not gonna lie. I thought maybe some of my Twitch followers would flood in, but apparently not. Nobody remembers. Nobody cares. B05 slash. Boom, boom. We'll just do that. Two from Ice Toad. Oops. Who needs Cura when you got Naynar? Am I right? Hey, escape! Kinda like it. Boom. Thank you, Nanar. Let's see how your picks went. Yeah. Oh. Ah, shit. I got some other housekeeping. Let me do a blast off cast out. Alright. Check quote cast. Damn, I should have had this all taken care of way before now. I'm realizing how long it takes. Alright. Let's do blast off cast and then we'll watch channel 5. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Can I edit this title? Shit. Oh. I think that works. Oh. Ooh. It's been a long week. Start the recording now. Welcome to the show. Better come together. Hello, lurkers. My favorite people. Those without the time to come live, but still stick around to watch the recording. Thank you. I love you. You're why I do this. All of you. I mainly do this for people like Trish. Not gonna lie, speaking of, I need to change up. Yo, Senior Captain, my new John Bullson. What is good in your hood, sir? Boom, boom, boom. How's it going? I got your chat on the stream now. So now you get to be featured in the recording. You're promoted. You're in the spotlight. It's not just me reacting to chat without any context. Oh, how you been? How you been, brother? Actually, how's my mic levels? How we doing in that department? I need. Yeah, this should be good. Oh, you here to get paid, brother? Are you here to be a paid political contributor? Yeah, I can see the chats now. Guess you figured it out. I thought there was a plug-in way, so I was trying to figure out a different way, and I just said, fuck that. I'm just gonna record the window, so I just have I have a Twitch stream open. But I got the whole day off. I only did like an hour 15 last time, but now I'm locking in. I'm locking in for a long time and a hard grind. Are you fucking ready, Senior Captain? I was just talking to the recording before you came in. I don't know if you heard some of that. Don't forget to press all the. Oh, I didn't put boost or cannon on here. Let's have it. Senior Captain, tell me how it is in your part of the world. What's going on? I'm tired of just fucking. Oh, I can tell the retake chat is going to. Let's just move you up. There we go. That works, right? That's fine. Just popping in, had some network issues earlier. All of my poor non-Americans with their network issues. If only I had Chinese friends. I'm sure they don't have network issues. Aren't you? No, that was Mammoth Milk. Was Guyana. Trying to remember. I think you're Indonesia, if I'm not mistaken. Which does sound like you would have some difficult network issues. But dude, we got Nanar curated motherfucking cast today, and we're gonna watch this shit. This shit looks good. This looks good. The government are playing the nice guys right now. We're looking forward to a new election. Oh. It's Indonesia, right? That's vaguely what I remember. Maybe that was trying to remember. We had a boat kid. I think you were around for that Vibe Market launch too. Oh. Nigeria. Fuck. I did know. Okay, you and John Bull. Maybe you are John Bull and you're just tired of the other account and you're like, nah, Senior Captain is my new FID. This is who I identify with. Speak now. Are you an alt account? Are you an alt account? We're beating ourselves up. We're getting shacked up. Sponsor. Oh. Oh. Woo. I'm not John Bull. Sure you're not. It's exactly what John Bull's alt would say. I'm just saying. Do you guys know each other? Are you like neighbors, huh? It's an annoying question. No, I'm not being serious. No, I can't really match his energy when he was active. He was on fire. Bro, for real. Dude was prolific posting. I wonder where he went. Maybe he found some social media that paid better. We're just trying to be based over here, okay? We just want to be based. That's all we want. Hey, Nounish Prof hit all the buttons, but I can't bother my chatters to hit like, recast, quotecast, and reply. Come on, bro. You know I be cannoning. You know I be popping off them cannons. Not a neighbor. I can relate to most of his posts on politics then. So we kind of connect through Scum, not politics channel. Oh, and politics channel, yeah. See, I was so optimistic with the prospects of Scum, and Scum isn't over. You know that. But I wasn't getting the participation from the creators I wanted and bear market. So we'll scum back around to Scum Channel and Scum Empire. Scum Empire is still, what, rank 3, I think? 3 or 4? So we're still a big deal. Oh. Yeah, 4, and now I've already gotten politics to number 7. So the idea is I'm going to, politics, bigger channel, more participation, makes more sense to be sending tokens out. Scum channel doesn't really feel worth it. It feels a lot more organic and natural to be focused on distribution in politics. I don't know how you feel about that, because I know you're a prolific caster in both now. Congratulations. But right now, it's not enough competition with me, because now I'm kind of becoming pro, like, dog. Us Empire Builder people, at least some, got to be competing on the ranks, on them leaderboards. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we're going to get politics to, I think we can get to number 1 with, we got fat treasury. But I want to do it right, and I want to do it over a long span of time to garner the most amount of attention and show the best consistency on the network. Let me turn up my mic a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a little better. Dude, Trish number... Oh, yeah, what I was getting distracted with. I need to change this scroller down here. So watch this. We're going to do top 50. Watch. Hey, what the fuck? Oh, yeah, that's fucked up. It's all messed up now. Whoops. Oh, shit. I messed it up. Okay, hold on. Actually. Okay, let me fix it. That's better, right? Yeah, it works for me. Ah, oh, dang, it did kind of screw it up a little bit. Dang it. I need a quick way of exporting this. Hold on, let's see if... Fuck, it's so goddamn long. Damn, this is going to have all 500, won't it? Oh, and it's got their addresses. Score. Okay, interesting. I don't really want to get their wallet address. Sure, I can use ChatGPT to do something, but for now, now it's changed. Now we can see all the top 50. This stream brought to you by Trish, our #1 holder and #4 caster, I believe. #1 staker. Yeah, #4 caster. #1 staker. Bro. 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 She staked it all. All right. Sorry, network issue again. Ugh. It's okay. We're there for you, Senior. I don't see any notifications, Senior. You expect me to pay you as a good chatter, but you can't be bothered to do all the free work? We got to get better about this. 15 minutes. Nothing. It's okay. It's fine. It's all right. All right. What minute are we at? Okay, around 31. I'll try to remember that. I'm going to start streaming more for the recording rather than waiting for everyone to come around. so we can have a good little video to live on. Ugh. Let's just free ball it. Free balling. Free balling. Okay. I ain't doing this live. How do you people talk to the goddamn camera without fucking it up all the goddamn time? This shit sucks. Oh. 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 Let's see if we get all the bots with that one. Oh, shit. Oh. I feel cringe trying to talk to a camera with the wife in the room. She doesn't hear anything I say. Doesn't comprehend any of it. No, she's tuned out. All right, I can be however I want. What? No? Hi, Senor. Don't forget to hit the buttons on our cast. We need people to find us. We need the algorithm to like us. It's so well. I do look forward to Rish talked about there being a live feature, so you can switch up, or you can set your status to live or whatever, and that sounds really fucking dope. Not gonna lie. America has some hope after all, guys. After all, guys, 24 hours after unveiling this monstrosity, it's covered in garbage, diapers, and shit. I love Americans. I just hate our government. Ugh. Beautiful. Nope, that doesn't do anything. Anyone else subscribe to the Diaper Dawn conspiracy? The Diaper Dawn conspiracy? I really want it to be true. I hope it's true. Let me know if you haven't heard about Diaper Dawn. I gotta wait 30 seconds for the stream to reach you in Nigeria. If not here, you are wrong. Watch the Politics Network with me on Twitch. Oh, okay. You'll make your own cast, but you won't hit my. Oh wait. Yeah, but you won't hit my cast, huh? Is that one like? Oh no, the one like is from Naynard, not you, you bastard. Don't you want politics to grow? Don't you want number to go up? Well, I am doing everything. Hamalama, yes, you know what to do. And Senior Captain. Okay, which of you is the alt account? Come on. Fess up, Hamalama. Hamalama is much more real than Senior Captain. So, Hamalama, is Senior your alt account? I actually don't believe y'all are alts. You cast completely differently. Hamalama is safe. Senior Captain, you've been consistent here, and I really like that. But you need to work on your cast quality. I don't have an alt account on Farcaster. I can't trust none of y'all. Just saying. It's not possible. No. Everyone's got alt accounts around here. Can't trust nobody. You're all farming. Nobody wants to be fam. Oh, what are these buttons down here? Drops and more. 15% off merch store. 3 available drops. I don't know what the hell those Twitch buttons do. Did Hamalama just hit the buttons and not even come up in chat? Come on, Hama. Get in here. You know you want to. Say something. I'm just gonna have to make this more of a one-man show. I gotta make good videos. I didn't edit shit this week. Cause all I do is shit. I like just hanging and jamming though. Senior, have you heard of the Diaper Dawn conspiracy? Crower, not a shower? What the fuck? Thanks for the button presses, Senior. It is always appreciated. Let me quote cast myself to home feed. All right, now I've sent the message. So if you boost that cast like you did, Senior, you'll get some cannon. Let me find that other one I had where I set the points. All right, bam, 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 bam. Yes, sir. Thank you, thank you. Anyone else in chat besides you, Senior? I don't have an alt on Farcaster, not first time. We need to be a little bit more active and quick with our chat. Sometimes, y'all, and we need a little bit more context because sometimes I read it way later. I forget what we were talking about, and I don't know what first time you're referring to. Damn this mother... It's showing just me on my end. What? Like just you in chat? I don't know what you mean. I wish I could quote cast this motherfucker. You make one Maritusi joke about his insider trading channel and you get the block. It was actually tasteful. Okay, it was a little critical, but it was tasteful. The Clarity Act is expected to be considered this week. There are 535 sitting members of Congress. How large would a POITH bounty need to be for someone to get a video with a sitting member of Congress saying, "This is for pics or it didn't happen," plus discussing clarity? Actually sounds dope as shit. Maybe we could do a mini one before this. 6 days ago. We're gonna flood the feed, motherfuckers. Keep flooding the feed, senor. I'd love to create this bounty, but maybe the first one will be more attainable and also international by talking about both POITH plus the politics network with any local, state, or federal politician. Oh, man. Oh, what do we think of that? Senior Captain, you paying attention? Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. That's not what I wanted. Oh. Thank you, Nanar, for showing us this cast. We appreciate you. Senior Captain, how are you doing on the leaderboards? Are you a sellout, brother? Do you just earn politics to sell it? To dump on my ass? You should be around these parts. You're not staking any yet, huh? Don't need to stake with us. Let's see. Did you make it? I don't think you were a politics caster before I started control of it, huh? So you might not be anywhere on the leaderboard yet. Yeah, cast some screenshots of your politics ranks. Oh shit. Some of your politics ranks and the boosters. Show me some of that shit. That's definitely not what Xi was referring to. When President Xi very elegantly referred to the United States as perhaps being a declining nation, perhaps. Oh shit, I think this shit cut off after 42, huh? 31, 42. Fuck did it go? I'll fix that shit later. When President Xi very elegantly referred to the United States as perhaps being a declining nation, he was referring to the tremendous damage we suffered during the 4 years of sleepy Joe Biden and the Biden administration. And on that score, he was 100% correct. Our country suffered immeasurably with open borders, high taxes, transgender for everybody, men and women's sports, DEI, horrible trade deals, rampant crime, and so much more. President Xi was not referring to the incredible rise that the United States has displayed to the world during the 16 spectacular months of the Trump administration, which includes all-time high stock markets and 401ks, military victory and thriving relationship in Venezuela, the military decimation. I mean, I don't expect a lot of grammar from this guy, but the military... It would be the decimation of Iran militarily. The military decimation of Iran to be continued. TBD. The fuck, guys? Strongest military on Earth by far. Economic powerhouse again. With a record $18 trillion being invested into the United States by others. Best U.S. job market in history. With more people working in the United States right now than ever before. Ending country destroying DEI and so many other things that it would be impossible to readily list. But I try. In fact, President Xi congratulated me on so many tremendous successes in such a short period of time. 2 years ago, where's the Xi tweet? Huh? Where's the fuck? I don't know what their Twitter is called. I was about to say WeChat. Where's his Debout? Fuck, I don't know what they're called. I should know more about Chinese social media. 2 years ago, we were, in fact, a nation in decline. On that, I fully agree with President Xi. But now, the United States is the hottest nation anywhere in the world, and hopefully our relationship with China will be stronger and better than ever before. Gotta pray right now. We'll be back soon. All right, bud. See you in a few minutes, right? It doesn't take that long. I wonder where Mecca is from me right now. No, I can figure this out. Okay, so my apartment. Hold on. I can figure this out. I can do it. I just got to look at the map. I actually don't know where my north is from here. Okay, so I'm... All right. Fuck. I'm going to turn this. Huh. It's literally behind. It's literally directly that way. All right. Now we know. Wait. I assumed we were talking about Islam, but that was maybe presumptuous of me, and you're probably already gone, so I can't even accurately tell you, so I'll wait for you to get back. Ugh. Oh, yeah. We go until I pass out on my keyboard. Actually, now that you're kind of gone for a minute, be sure to be there. Me. Bruh, you're dreaming. Oh, I can say it. Never mind. Wait, I thought I... Damn, that sucks. Dang, that sucks. Whatever. Bizarre Beast, thank you. We're just chilling like some villains while we plot. Oh, while we plot our master's demise. Alright, I think stream looks pretty cool now. I don't know what these edges are. Fuck. Oh. I think this is how I like the stream. I'm happy. Oh, that's kind of nice. Make this. Oh. What did I miss? Nothing. I was just screwing around, messing with the stream. Now you can kind of see the difference, though. I need to. I love the ticker of the holders, though, so I'm gonna have to figure out a new solution for that one. But yeah, how do you like it? How do you like the look? Yeah, that seems nicer. Looks cool. Thank you. Alright. I'm satisfied. I knew you weren't going to be gone long. I figured out where Mecca was. Well, I think right when you left, it's that way. But also, I kind of made an assumption that you had to go leave to pray because it was Islamic. But I don't know. Maybe Catholics be doing that. I don't know. Ooh. All right. Nah, discard. Yeah, I'm a Muslim. That's what I figured. Oh, next cast on the... Yeah, you actually didn't miss any casts. I think I already went through this one. Now it's this one. All right. I was reflecting with a friend today about the lives our kids have lived so far. My son is 19, studying mechanical engineering at University of Florida, UF. And my daughter is 17 and a junior in high school. For 10 of those years, they've watched an insane racist and a more insane cult work to destroy our democracy, both in the White House and out. They lived through COVID lockdowns and watched that same asshole fuck up the response and kill hundreds of thousands of our fellow citizens. They've seen pure incompetence appointed to the highest levels of government, and they've seen the GOP sell out to war criminals in Russia and Israel. Thought you knew already. I made an Eid Mubarak graphic on Eid's Day, then thought you saw it. I might have seen it and immediately forgot about it. That I am perfectly capable of doing that. They've seen pure incompetence appointed to the highest levels of government, and they've seen the GOP sell out to war criminals in Russia and Israel. Preparing for and fearing school shootings has been a part of their daily lives since they were 4 years old. Is the music level too loud, by the way, at this amount? Or should I go a little lower, like that? Do Nanar have a curate feature like Cura? No, I just ask it. So literally look. Where is it? Nanar, give me the top 10 casts in this channel over the past 7 days. Exclude cast from myself and make sure to link to the cast you're referencing. Yeah, I did not link very well to the cast, but whatever. I'll tell it to do cast hashes because it seems to be able to do that, and I was able to find the damn things. Their perception of what it means to be an American is severely skewed, and they live with the embarrassment of being an American when they travel abroad. They've watched as we, as parents, tried to assure them that the system is strong, and then watched as over and over again the system failed the ideals we've told them are so important. Okay. They were raised to believe that rules are important only to the POTUS, only to watch the POTUS, President of the United States, violate every law imaginable. They've seen millions of people express violent hate for their fellow Americans because of their race or sexual orientation after being assured by us that those things belong in the history books. So we just have to accept Cura is gone forever? Yeah, dude. They are MIA, no announcement, no nothing, dog. I mean, it's kind of surprising that I still see the app works. So maybe they're just on a really long vacation. I don't know. But I was loving Cura, but now we got Empire. All right. So, and Cura made you claim. Empire auto magically sends it. Keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. I'm just sending tokens now. I do want more people to get boosters before. Oh, is it working? Okay. So I want a little bit more people getting boosters, getting their ranks, so I'm not just distributing to myself and Trish. So make sure you're holding, bro. At least try to get the boosters. I know you probably sell out a lot, but try to keep and hold some boosters because that really, especially on the cannons are where the boosters make the biggest difference, bruh. They've seen, yeah, finally they are coping with the reality that all the over-the-top testing and studying they've done to get ahead may be for nothing as they realize that AI will wipe out most human work. It's rather depressing to think about all these things they should not have experienced and to understand what it has done to them mentally, but I'm actually excited for them. Let's see where this goes. I think their generation will be one of the strongest in the history of this country because they've been through so much. That is the hard times create strong men. Strong men create easy times, and those easy times create weak men who create strong or create tough times, which create stronger men, and it goes round and round. I think they will need that strength to guide the world to an entirely new reality of human existence, and they will need it to grapple with huge changes beyond anything we can imagine today. Humans will be living much longer, and yet the planet will be dying. Technology will advance faster than ever before, and change will come fast and furious. Strength of character, stamina, and grit will be required to cope with and manage what is coming. And from everything I've seen, they are better prepared to live that than anyone has ever been. And they are uniquely prepared to guide humanity into a new existence and a potential nirvana. So despite the pain and suffering that is to come for them and the world, I am confident these folks will roll up their sleeves and work for better than what they got for a childhood from us. I'm gonna just send it to home. Thank you, senor. You know what to do. You're earning your keep around here, not making me feel too weird about sending so much free money all the goddamn time. It's a degen communist job to degenerately distribute the wealth. Anyone else find it interesting that the CNN and Fox logos are opposite of the political colors they are generally associated with? Fox is blue and Republicans are red. CNN is red and Democrats are blue. Have you thought about that, chat? Oh, dude, he so means it this time. Oh, fucking. Bruh. The final deadline. Seriously final this time. No extensions. Last warning. Okay, now it's final. Seriously final. Final. Oh, dude, it's embarrassing. It's fucking embarrassing. Dude, they're even memeing on us harder than the CIA usually is capable of memeing. God, those Lego videos are destroying us. Whew. Oh, we're getting beat up today. Stream doesn't end until this is gone. Fuck. Maybe 2. 2 if I get paid some more. Oh. Woo. I should not have trusted my manager. He said these were great. They're great at getting you fucked up. Oh, but they taste like gasoline. Like fruity gasoline. Yeah, that might be wise. Oh. Oh. Guys, my cat is looking so cute right now. It's crazy. Ew. Oh, oh. How did this story just disappear? USAID cuts could lead to 14 million deaths over the next 5 years, researchers say. Analysis published Monday in the medical journal The Lancet projects that cuts to the agency will lead to more deaths from diseases like AIDS, malaria, and tuberculosis. Good job. Wow. Way to go. Good job. Yes, very much this. Yeah. Guys, look at chat. Look at this. Look at this. Chat, take a look at this. Chat. Yeah, maybe we do any U.S. city, state, or federal. Yeah. I think we can do this one. Yeah, and the clarity I makes it relevant to now. Let's do it. New picks or it didn't happen with politics. I know where this is going to go. I don't even have to read it. I haven't paid my federal student loans for the past 2 years and realized that they will be in deferment for another 2. Really banking on the hope that a dim Congress and president forgives them this time. Think this will happen? That's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him. It's the same strategy I'm using. It has now been 74 days since millions of people in Iran lost normal access to the global internet, marking more than 1,750 hours of digital isolation. While the rest of the world continued advancing in science, technology, and innovation, many technologists, developers, and online activists connected to Iran have faced growing pressure, arrests, and executions. Sheesh. Bada bing, bada boom. Senior Captain, are you still in the room? Is anyone there? Is anybody out there? Just, damn, I had such a good week last week. Now it's just Senior Captain. The fuck? They get dick this week. All right. Let's react to Ice. I already saw the first 8 minutes, so I'll let you guys watch it for a little bit, and I'll be right back.
Alex Preddy, when he was shot, his hands were on the ground. He did not have a firearm in his hand. Border Patrol should not have been there. Border Patrol should be patrolling the border.
I feel like our administration wanted this type of escalation. I don't think Renee Good deserved to be killed. We sometimes feel like they're waiting for one of us to be shot and killed.
What did you think about the Alex Preddy shooting?
That one was also particularly traumatic.
Was Renee Good a criminal? No. Was she acting like a bitch? Yeah.
How do you feel about the phrase ICE?
I try not to take it personally.
All your homophobia, all your racism, all your transphobia, all your xenophobia. Everyone go yourself.
Your family, your kids, nigga. That's how it is. I can't sleep comfortably because of you.
I just feel like we've been in the pocket of the administration, kind of doing their bidding and wrapping up as many people as possible.
We've been mislabeled as Nazis, homophobes, as racist in law enforcement. That's just not true.
They're doing exactly what the Gestapo did back in the Nazi regime.
We are not deportation officers, and we are not people who go out and grab people, round them up, and then deport them. That is not what we do.
Unnecessary violence has been happening since the Metro surges began, and HSI had to back up investigations of assaults against officers where there was no assault, and they started it.
So you think there's a critical misunderstanding on behalf of the public as to what ICE actually is?
I think so. We have child exploitation, which is a huge component of what we do.
They're kidnapping kids, buying and selling kids, bribing officials, killing people, all for the purpose of exploiting underage kids.
The internet has opened some doors for the world. Watching the Artemis mission live, coolest shit ever. Knowing that you can just jump on the internet and meet with a child and them terrible.
Since Trump got into office, there's been 33% less federal agent hours spent pursuing child predators than there was beforehand. Have there been child exploitation cases that have been basically thrown out as a result of moving HSI manpower over to places like Minneapolis to enforce immigration?
There have absolutely been leads that have been uninvestigated or closed out prematurely because we don't have the manpower or the priority to focus on them.
The immigration enforcement and now our criminal enforcement, that's all merged. It makes our job a lot more difficult.
It definitely feels like my purpose has been destroyed. I have no doubt that the American people have lost their faith in us. I lost their faith in us.
You got fired from ICE for something you said about Israel. What was the process like?
No grant rights were read. They didn't ask me about my side of events. They're just like, you're being terminated for misconduct, which is weird to me because being a cop from other agencies, usually IA is supposed to like take a sworn statement from you regardless of whether or not you're being fired.
Do you think race played a role in you actually getting fired and singled out?
I'm pretty positive because I've seen officers commit actual misconduct on camera, say things they're not supposed to, and they didn't get fired or written up.
The termination letter quotes, "I knew my girl was the one when she said she hated Jews in Israel."
Yeah.
So you never sent anything remotely.
No, that was a different officer that said that.
What's up, guys? Andrew Callahan here, Channel 5 News. We got a pretty hot one coming down the pipeline today. It's officially been about 4 months since Operation Metro Surge wrapped up in Minneapolis, Minnesota. During the operation, nearly 4,000 people were arrested and 2 people were killed by either DHS, Border Patrol, or ICE agents. Metro Surge was likely carried out to make good on Trump's second-term campaign promise of mass deportations and likely to appease his campaign donors over at CoreCivic and Geo Group, who are yielding astronomical profits as we speak week from private detention contracts and have a vested interest in filling as many beds as humanly possible at all times. And with how fast things move in the news cycle nowadays, it's hard for the operation to not feel like ancient history. If you can recall, last February, we were on the 1 yard line of a watershed Epstein moment that threatened to expose the inner workings of an elite circle of pedophile billionaires at the very top, who many suggest control our media and politicians through coercive blackmail. But then, Brene Good and Alex Preddy were killed. Operation Metro Surge wrapped up. Then we had the war in Iran, the kidnapping of President Maduro in Venezuela, perhaps the upcoming invasion of Cuba, the new season of Euphoria, and an endless array of meaningless culture war issues sprinkled on top of it all by the mainstream press to keep us divided, distracted,
Yeah,
docile,
I'm a cat.
and drowning.
I'm a cat and a rabbit. Bruh, AI viewers, streamboo.com. Fuck you. Get this the fuck out of here. Get this the fuck out of here. Let's get this guy the fuck out of here. Yeah. Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Block him. Get him at. Flag. Restricted. Get out of here. Can I just delete it? God damn it. Son! Either go back to your bed or get the fuck out of my screen. Yeah, you can go that way. God damn.
And dog shit. But what happened back in Metro Surge is important. It represents a massive waste of taxpayer money and federal resources. Minneapolis is not in a better place than it was before Metro Surge.
No.
In fact, it's in a worse place. DHS's shenanigans in Minnesota over the winter cost the city of Minneapolis approximately $200 million in losses, $5 million in police overtime hours, $81 million in lost revenue for local businesses, and workers lost over $47 million in wages. For a look back, here was the scene on the ground less than 2 days after the killing of Renee Good.
If you're scared to come outside, what are you waiting for next? American citizens are being shot in the street. This administration is not following court orders. They're sending citizens out of the country. Are you waiting for them to come knock on your door like J.D. Vance said?
Minneapolis public schools have canceled classes for the
I'm very confused why they're using ICE as the Gestapo. Like that seems very outside their job purview, if we're being honest here. If we're being really real. If we're being totally real here. Oh shit, I'm fucked up. Like, goddamn. Hello, that's too much. Hello, that should be fine. I don't know why. We've got it's not built for that. Like, man, they just really love ramming stuff into holes that they don't fit into. Like, why didn't you guys? It's showing 3 viewers on the screen. Really? Come on, chatters. Speak up. Get paid. Don't be a bot. Where does it say? Oh, yeah, it does say 3. Here, I can check them. Okay, yeah, no. It doesn't. On the mod end, it does not show me anybody but you, brother. It might be me, you, and the streaming elements bot. I don't know. Maybe users in chat maybe don't show up until they say something. So we got 2 lurkers. I saw lurkers. What's up? We are the Politics Network. Just come around, bro. Come on, dudes. You know you wanna fuck around and find out around here. It had been showing 1, just me, since I joined. Maybe they are real. Maybe they're just shy.
That next 2 days.
The teachers union says this comes after ICE showed up to the campus of one of their Minneapolis schools.
What else are you fucking waiting for?
So throughout that operation, a lot of journalists who aren't me also did some fantastic interviews capturing the passionate perspective of protesters. And on the right-wing side of things, high-up government officials were also barking and making a lot of noise as well, especially Kristi Noem. Shout out to Brian. Bimbo's on top. But one perspective left out entirely is the perspective of the ICE agents themselves.
Bimbo's on top, bro. Bimbo Brian. Thought ICE were just for illegal immigrants. You would think. No. They have become... So in a roundabout way, Trump just kind of deploys them for political purposes into towns and cities run by Democrats he dislikes. So the intent is not, ooh, let's round up the worst of the worst. Let's get rid of... None of that is the real intent. The real intent is fuck some shit up, disrupt and distract from daily life, and keep making news cycles. I had been seeing U.S. citizens dragged so hard on Twitter these past days. Wonder which one you're talking about.
From what I've been told, today's interview with 3 different agents is the first time that individual ICE agents who are masked in the field have gotten on camera to speak their minds since the operation concluded.
Pretty big interview.
I should note, these interviews were only made possible because of the assistance of our buddy Carl, who you'll meet in a minute. Now, before proceeding, I just want to establish one important fact. There is no such thing as an ICE agent.
So under DHS, there's lots of different agencies. ICE itself, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, is made up of Enforcement and Removal Operations, ERO.
ICE is made up of ERO, which is Enforcement and Removal Operations. They handle the immigration and detention side of our agency. And then ICE is also made up of HSI, which is Homeland Security Investigations.
So which department exactly are you employed by?
I'm Homeland Security Investigations.
And what sort of work do you guys do?
I mentioned we have a really broad scope of federal statutes that we investigate. We are the investigative arm under DHS. ERO is responsible for enforcement and removal. They work a lot with other countries when red notices are issued and fugitives need to be found who don't have status, things like that.
HSI has handled a lot of very famous cases in the last couple of years. The Sean Combs case, that was pretty famous. HSI has also been involved in the El Chapo and currently the President Maduro case out of Venezuela.
What was internal dialogue like at HSI after the release of the redacted Epstein files?
As law enforcement officers, we want to believe that the people who were investigating those looked at that stuff and did what they could. If I don't believe that, I don't know what to do.
This must be a weird feeling. Are you working for the government?
That's pretty weird, bro. They're in a tough spot, bro. I mean, and dude, ICE is detaining children, dog. You're currently, if you're an ICE officer, or I'm sorry, DHS, as was just explained, you're in detention facilities with straight up babies and toddlers now. And y'all ain't got no medical shit. Y'all got completely insufficient rations and food. And they're just crying. Dude, I could not be in that situation. Oh, it's fucked up.
Then you see the government release these files that they had been gatekeeping.
Bro, and like, you work for a pedophile government and you're in charge of detaining kids. Like, that just feels... Are we the baddies? Are we the baddies? Is it perhaps us? Who knows?
Keeping for
Who
years,
knows?
which seemed to implicate a lot of connected, powerful people to pedophilia, which is the exact thing that you were fighting against, among other things. Did you feel betrayed?
A little bit. I'm not surprised. It's not the first time I've heard that people in Hollywood or the music industry are like kids.
She likes the
eating
hat.
kids thing, that was bad. I wanted to throw up at that one. Yeah, I feel betrayed. I feel like why are we holding on to this? Why are we gatekeeping this?
As I mentioned, these interviews were only possible because of my boy Carl. You guys want to meet Carl? I have fantastic news.
Woo!
Here he is.
My name's Carl. I'm an investigative journalist. I've been labeled the ICE Whisperer by Wired. I didn't give myself that name, but I've been interviewing ICE agents for the past 2 months straight.
How did you establish such close contact with ICE agents?
I don't think I do anything special other than offer a voice of neutrality, but more importantly, like I'll listen. My questions are to keep them talking. That's my whole goal. I don't hit them with any gotcha stuff or try to prove a point. And I've received a lot of hate for it, a tremendous amount of hate for just interviewing them in the first place.
What do people say?
You shouldn't be platforming people, which I think is total fucking bullshit. A lot of heat for like, you need to dox these people, you need to dox these agents, these people are monsters. But also beyond that, a lot of support. So I get messages from people who are like, I fucking hate ICE. I'm the most anti-ICE person, but like these interviews are eye-opening.
What is the security risk for the agents who are participating in this piece?
I mean, the security risk is if they talk to the media, they can get fired, basically. That's it. There's also a risk for us. Keeping the identities anonymous doesn't only protect them, it protects us as well. So if there's some crazy group that's like, give me their info, we don't know their info.
I hope every one of those lawless you call ICE officers get doxxed one by one and they get the public shaming they deserve.
I do all my interviews through an encrypted texting app called Signal, which hopefully you guys can put up my info. Keep messaging me.
It's going to be on screen.
That's an end-to-end encrypted app. From that app, the interviews move to another app that's also end-to-end encrypted, but it is not a US-based company. So there is no way a US warrant or subpoena could ever get into that chat. So that's my double layer of security, just how I make contact and how I make interviews.
What can you tell us about our first interviewee?
So our first interviewee is an HSI agent.
Gangs, drugs, firearms, human trafficking, human smuggling, intellectual property rights, the logo on the movies before when we watched VHS, like don't copy this, that type of stuff. Or it's an antiquities theft, repatriating stolen artwork from grave robbers or, back to their home country. There's such a large scope of things that we can investigate under HSI.
The second one is also HSI. This interview is kind of sensitive, but this agent also combats child trafficking, amongst other things, in a more hands-on manner.
We are not deportation officers who go out and grab people, round them up, and then deport them. That is not our primary function. That is not what we do. Since January, February of last year, that is what our agency has been pushing us to do. That has put a halt to our criminal investigations.
And you're going to conduct that second interview because you have a pretty good rapport with this person.
Yes, I've been building a relationship with all these agents for like a very long time now. I put hundreds and hundreds of hours into just building and keeping this trust.
You're down to wear a brown suit, right?
Whatever I need to do, man.
You need aesthetic consistency.
Whatever I need to do.
I have an extra tie for you, too.
Do you think that HSI and ERO should be separated?
Yes. At one point, there was a huge push to separate ERO and HSI. At one point, ERO was called DRO, which was Detention and Removal Operations, and HSI was called OI, which is Office of Investigations. That split up to what we know now as ERO and HSI. A lot of managers and a lot of people in Washington, D.C. were pushing to have those two agencies completely separate. And there was great momentum in doing that. And then all of a sudden, that all fell apart when we, as HSI, were merged once again with ERO to go pick up illegal immigrants who were working as landscapers or working at restaurants.
That arrest went viral on social media. It shows the 48-year-old pinned to the ground and punched before being taken into custody. Authorities say Barranco assaulted federal agents with a weed whacker, but no such charge was ever filed.
So you feel like Operation Metro Surge was bad optics?
Definitely bad optics. it's not new that sanctuary cities and sanctuary states have a different type of crime problem. That's not new information. We learn how to work in those areas, and we have systems in place with our partner agencies to make things happen. And I think that Metro Surge probably single-handedly destroyed a lot of those relationships in these sanctuary cities and states, and have set us up for probably another decade of trying to rebuild that relationship.
What are some major mistakes that you think were made?
Maybe going too hard, too fast. There are problems that need to be solved, but you just can't come in like a wrecking ball and change everything in a heartbeat. There has to be some consensus among leadership and some consideration of the front line, the ones who are doing the work.
How did you feel about the killing of Renee Good?
Made me sick. I know that
Just realized I want to do another cast. Direct. Ooh.
you guys have heard it before, that we sometimes feel like they're waiting for one of us to be shot and killed. As an example, again, another person who didn't deserve to die.
So you feel like the agents that were involved in that situation did the wrong thing?
We are held to some case law that makes determinations about when uses of force are right or wrong or objectively reasonable. While I am not in a place to make that determination for each of the agents involved, it definitely feels wrong to me.
How did incidents like that impact morale within ICE?
There's some division amongst law enforcement in general as well with those. You know, everybody has their opinions. That was right, it was wrong, he should have done this, he should have done that. We're human, you know, we have divisions amongst all of us. And I think both of those came at a time where we were already in such a low morale situation. There is some compassion amongst all of us. You know, we're all in a position where we were working 6-7 days a week, 12-hour shifts, didn't really have a say in how much we're working. And even people who are not law enforcement can understand that when you're being driven that hard, decision-making gets worse, emotions get heightened, things like that. So I think it just kind of illustrated and exacerbated the state we were already in.
You mentioned a couple different times the political goals of the Trump administration in deploying all of these federal agents and employees to Minneapolis at the same time. Why do you think the Trump administration did that in particular?
They weren't secretive in their platforms before election.
The Republican platform promises to launch the largest deportation operation in the history of our country.
When they were on the circuit, you know, he was very clear. So I think, you know, when people come in under asylum or trying to get asylum hearings, they're waiting 7 years for a hearing.
So you feel like increasing the amount of judges in the immigration courts
would be great.
Expediting the asylum seeking process would have been a way to avoid the situation.
Yeah, I think those would be great plans. I think our administration is just not thinking through the best way to tackle the problem and is just throwing resources in particular places and making a fool of us.
So you feel like a lot of the showmanship of Operation Metro Surge was what caused public trust to be lost?
Yeah. And I mean, Border Patrol is at the front of that. I don't think it turned out well.
So you don't like Bovino?
I mean, he's a figurehead. I don't know him, but no. Just the way Border Patrol is operating is vigilante-ish. It feels lawless. It feels aggressive. It feels unnecessary.
So you feel like the CBP Border Patrol guys who basically got deputized as ICE agents in Minneapolis were way out of line?
Yeah.
The fact that a lot of CBP Border Patrol agents are like working these borderlands where they're having to sort of like do snatch and grabs of people that have immediately hopped the border. Do you think that played a factor in how they behaved on the streets of Minneapolis?
yes, it affects Minneapolis in the optics because they're operating as if anyone who looks like they may have crossed the border or didn't come from here is here illegally, because that's what they're used to. Like in Los Angeles, where they're just nabbing people off the street, you know, trying to clean up a Home Depot parking lot for all the people waiting for work. I mean, why do that? Those aren't the people we want. They just assume that everyone who's not white came across the border at some point in time. And they're coming from an area where everybody coming across the border was coming across illegally. So I don't know that they're properly educated on the laws. I don't know that they're properly guided by their leadership on how to handle encounters with people. Like, what is a consensual encounter? What is not? Yeah, I mean, they treated it like the border, and it's not the case. You can't just see somebody walking on the street and assume that because they're in a Hispanic neighborhood that they are here illegally.
According to our third ICE whistleblower source, this kind of racism is also endemic within HSI itself, not just among Border Patrol agents being deputized to Minneapolis, LA, and elsewhere.
I know when I first got into ICE, my supervisor had let me know hey, we've had guys get grabbed by other officers, be it local police or other ICE officers, just assuming they're a detainee based on how they look like. So he's stick close to me if you ever go deep south or any of those weird facilities.
So you're Hispanic and Native American. Can you tell us a little bit about the racism that you did face?
So the discrimination kind of came when I was visiting Charlotte office, which wasn't my home office. I was the sole officer that people were kind of focusing in on with making jokes or just making out random comments. I had one recruit come up to me and be like, hey, I bet I could take you in jiu-jitsu out of random. And I just had another white officer point directly at me hey, get his brown ass in line with the other detainees. I literally turned and looked at him, and I literally just lift up my hoodie to show my credentials, my ID, hey, I'm not a detainee. And that's where it kind of dawned on me, oh, these guys kind of have something against individuals of colors, or at least a few of their staff members do.
Despite keeping quiet about these incidents on an HR level, this officer was fired very shortly after for apparently making an anti-Semitic comment that he says he never made to a different officer during an ERO operation.
Like I said, I wasn't even pulled aside by anybody. I wasn't asked a question. I wasn't told hey, this person claimed you said this. It was just one day they just pulled me aside. They're just hey, you're being fired for officer misconduct. And they hand me that letter, no names on it, just a vague quote.
Yeah, what did that quote say?
Something to the effect of, I knew my girl was the one when she said she hated Jews in Israel.
The termination letter quotes, I knew my girl was the one when she said she hated Jews in Israel.
Yeah.
So you never sent anything remotely?
No, that was a different officer that said that. In that moment during the transportation operation, it was out of pocket because we were all in a van. Just everyone was talking. I wasn't talking. I was just quiet. I was sitting in the middle. But nobody had said anything when the guy blurted it out. So everyone just kept it pushing to get the objective done.
Despite this, he was reported shortly after and immediately fired.
Did anything happen to them?
I have no idea if that recruit was fired or nothing was told of me of any of the other officers facing disciplinary or even my side being asked hey, do you hear any other officer engage in misconduct? No grant rights were read. They didn't ask me about my side of events. They're just you're being terminated for misconduct.
Are you pursuing any sort of legal action?
I'm pursuing right now an EEO claim, which sadly, as a legal matter, can take at best a year, sometimes longer, because the government contracts out to investigate that. And I do have a lawyer on standby, and lawyers just wait for their ROI results before you pursue this fully in court because it costs money. So that's where I'm at right now.
Most people don't know that Border Patrol is over 50% Hispanic, and ICE is roughly 30% Hispanic, and nearly half of ICE is non-white. Why do you think so many Hispanic people decide to take jobs in immigration enforcement?
I think it has a lot to do with the communities growing up on the borders and seeing the issues. And then for the few people that weren't on the borders, they kind of have families that are down in Mexico and they're affected by crimes regarding the cartel. So a lot of people typically from those communities join law enforcement with noble intentions of I want my community to be better. I don't want to just say it. I want to be a part of that change. So when you have these young people from these communities coming to these agencies, they're trying to change it for the better.
What do you think they see in these communities that have them enlist or join?
In those communities, you see a lot of cartel come through the border. There's a lot of cartel and narco-terrorists that are in the United States that operate within it, and they see people get kidnapped from the community. They see people get murdered. They have family members that they're aware that get murdered, harassed, or overseas by cartel members. So because of them being either directly affected by it or just seeing it, they're I want to protect people and go after these very, very bad men that think they could get away with it.
Hey, what's up, you guys? As I'm sure you know, in today's episode, we spoke to ICE and DHS agents about the nuances and divisions within the actual organization itself. But what about current ICE news today? More specifically, how is the mainstream media covering modern ICE operations in the May of 2026? Where should I go to figure this out? Maybe a dope-ass news aggregate called Ground News, which I'm gonna pull up right now on my phone. And I'm typing in the phrase ICE agent, where I found this story. An agent in Minnesota named Gregory Donald Morgan Jr. just got charged with not 1, but 2 counts of second-degree assault after prosecutors say he pulled his service weapon out on civilians during a road rage incident on the highway. As some would say, he upped the pole on some civilian. This particular story has 189 sources. Using this Ground News bias distribution tool, you can see the political leanings of the sources here. You can really feel the power of language when it comes to how the incident is being described to their target audience. For example, left-leaning audiences use words like criminally charged when describing the perp. Then, of course, right-leaning coverage focuses on the case's prosecutor, calling them a far-left and blue state actor. So how does that bias hit in mainstream headlines considered to be center by some cable audience demographics? Naturally, on Ground News here, I scroll down to see what Fox News has to say. So it says, Minnesota prosecutor charges ICE agent in gun incident as Savannah Hernandez case remains uncharged. Savannah Hernandez has nothing to do with the specific road rage incident. A pretty convenient reframe that keeps things in the two-party political echo chamber while simultaneously depriving the Fox News audience of key information. That's the story Fox is pushing, and some of us know why, but if you don't, go to the factuality and ownership panel in the Ground News app, and you'll figure out who owns Fox News, and boom, Ground News, you figured it out. All right, let's read a headline from a left-leaning outlet called Slate, why the new criminal charges against an ICE agent in Minneapolis could be a true turning point. Then last but not least, Reuters. So on Reuters it says, prosecutors in a Minnesota county charge an ICE agent with assault. That's it. Straightforward clinical analysis, no spin, the facts as they are. Reuters. So now we've seen 3 versions of the exact same story that all honestly contain valuable information and allow you, news consumer, to develop a more rounded view of this story. Ground News lays the whole picture out at once. Who's covering it, how they're framing it, what factuality rating the outlet carries, and who owns them. I use this shit every day, and it's a perfect partner for Channel 5 because our missions effectively align. And guess what? You too can be just like me if you subscribe right now through my link, which is ground.news/channel 5, currently available in the description box and pinned comment of this video, or just scan the QR code on screen that you see right now. You're gonna get 40% off the unlimited Vantage plan, which is the best plan Ground News has to offer, bringing the cost down to less than $5 a month. But I think that at this point, you know what to do. Anyways, back to Trump's motivations for his initial raids in Los Angeles, which came a few months before Minneapolis metro surge.
You feel like it was cruel?
Definitely.
What motivated some of that cruelty?
Oh, it felt petty and personal between Trump and Newsom.
On the other hand, what do you think Trump's gripe was with Minneapolis and Minnesota to connect to the riots?
Nick Shirley definitely made a fool out of him, or out of law enforcement in general, by highlighting all that fraud. And he just saw probably Tim Walz, his opponent, another petty nonsense, and look at this mess you're in. I'm going to come clean it up for you. It feels very petty. I don't see righteous motives.
Do you think it was public pressure from the protesters and the media that led to Metro Surge ending?
Probably. I would think that some leaders felt that pressure and got the top to agree to dial it back.
We've had great success with this operation, and we're leaving Minnesota safer.
So in a way, the protest aims were somewhat effective.
I don't generally feel like protests do that much, but I think the visibility of all of it definitely helped move things along.
One of the biggest things they need to take in mind is that immigration and the immigration politics are very nuanced. It's not black and white, and people need to find kind of a middle ground, because you have to have a key focus of safety for the community and how you let people in and out of this country. But you also can't let standards slip to where you start seeing these instances of officers using too much force, not understanding legal protocol.
ICE agents for the past 2 months straight.
How did you establish such close contact with ICE agents?
Because you have to have a key focus of safety for the community and how you let people in and out of this country. But you also can't let standards slip to where you start seeing these instances of officers using too much force, not understanding legal protocol.
Was Renee Good a criminal? No. Was she acting like a bitch? Yeah. Was she blocking the street, antagonizing cops, chasing them, preventing them from doing their job? Sure. Should she have gone to jail? Sure. Should she have been whipped out of that car and probably beat the fuck out of? Sure. But there's so many different ways to skin that cat, and she could have been dealt with a lot differently. And everyone in that conga line of vehicles that were actively hindering the job of ICE that day, they could have been dealt with a lot different. And that comes down to experience, that comes down to training, and that comes down to leadership. And there was no leadership. In the Renee Good shooting, you had an officer who found himself in the same exact situation, same exact predicament, and was not only hit but dragged by a vehicle. And now in the Renee Good shooting, he's found himself in the same exact position.
So if that officer was just hit and dragged by a car, went through this traumatic event, why was he out there in Minneapolis in the most heated part of the country?
Because the agency needed numbers and was sending everyone. He should not have been on the street. He should have been doing something else.
Yep, you heard that right. The officer who killed Renee Good was in the exact same situation a year prior, making a routine traffic stop, after which he was dragged by a car and ended up in the hospital. He was then put back on the street to fill a quota, and it cost an American citizen their life. For our interviewees, this sort of thing doesn't only erode public trust. It threatens the future funding for HSI, which they all joined to combat human and/or child trafficking in one way or another.
Growing up, I got to see people be impacted by human trafficking and the destruction it does to their lives, how long it takes to get back to normal.
I think people don't realize what the dark underbelly is until they see it, and then they're, holy shit, right?
Well, for those unaware, how big is the child exploitation industry?
There are thousands of cyber tips reported to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, thousands a month. It may be something as simple as someone sharing child pornography. It may be something like they're chatting with someone who might be a minor, or it might be so big that law enforcement needs to act immediately. Before COVID, before everybody got sent home to do everything online, it wasn't so significant. It doesn't mean that the crime wasn't as prevalent. It just changed dramatically to this online platform during COVID. People don't realize that every time a child is on a digital device unmonitored, they're going to be contacted by someone with nefarious intent. And hopefully we've had those conversations with our children and they know how to handle stranger danger online. And then there's, the aspect of people known to us. The majority of kidnappings, child, hands-on offenses are adults known to them.
When talking to agents, their emphasis on the sheer scale of the booming child exploitation industry is constant, and it's due to this that so many of them have become disillusioned with the Trump administration. As I mentioned in the intro of this piece, a recent lawsuit revealed that Trump diverting HSI manpower over to ERO deportation work has resulted in 33% fewer hours being spent by ICE on child exploitation cases. Additionally, indictments have dropped by 28%, child rescues have dropped by 17%, and the DOJ recently slashed funding and training resources for law enforcement working on investigations and prosecutions of sex crimes against children.
What's morale like in HSI?
We feel somewhat defeated, disappointed, frustrated, like our time is being wasted. For most of my career, immigration enforcement was a tool that could be used to remove people involved in criminal activity where there wasn't another way to get them. It was a tool, a resource, something that could be used. It wasn't the focus of the investigation. The focus of the investigation was criminal charges, federal crimes, jail time, saving victims, and now 2025 and forward, it is the mission. The mission is wrapping up as many people as possible for immigration violations.
Was HSI involved in the prosecution of a group known as 764?
We do have some investigations in that.
And for those who don't know, that was a Discord server of child porn consumers and creators. And it was really a sextortion ring led by actually high schoolers. The leader of it has a life sentence now, but I think he was 15 or 16 when it started. Basically, they'd use Roblox, like you said, to get someone involved in this extortion ring and process. And then they would encourage them to self-harm, sometimes even commit suicide, eat their own hair, kill their own cats, and then produce child porn of their own to feed back to the same people who extorted them in the first place. So it's just about the darkest thing I've ever heard or read about in my entire life. So I was wondering, in this job, have you seen things that you've had a hard time coping with?
Absolutely. Secondhand PTSD is legit. I have a particular case, a particular video that lives rent-free in my head that at times, will be triggered. I'm just like emotionally unable to continue whatever task it is that I'm doing.
When you said the video that bothered you, was it a child pornography video?
Yes, a child pornography case, child video.
It's one thing to just like investigate the criminals, but you're actually having to sift through probably hours of this content. Cumulatively, how much child sex abuse material do you think you've had to ingest?
I personally would say I've seen millions. There are resources available to us as investigators, mental health support, things like that, but it is woefully insufficient for the damage that this job does.
Jared Fogle, the spokesperson for Subway, is set to be released this year. He was convicted on possessing and distributing child pornography. He was very famous. He was an influential person, and now he's going to be released. The chances of him going back to viewing and distributing images of child exploitation are pretty high. The recidivism rate for these child predators and the people who consume this type of material is pretty high, and we always see them again.
Do you think that people like that can be rehabilitated?
No. I don't. The best they can hope for is to be controlled.
Are there any particular multiplayer video games or social media platforms that predators prefer to use?
If it's there, they will use it. Obviously, the less monitoring that there is, the more they'll use it. Roblox being a huge one, Discord, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, all of those social medias are a risky place. And then they often will try to divert conversations to an encrypted platform like Signal, Kik, WhatsApp, things like that. So if you're seeing those things on a child's phone, it's a red flag immediately.
And what is the usual process of approach?
It depends. If it's, say, a teenage male, they will often create profiles that appear to be a cute female, high school age, strike up a relationship, prey on their raging teenage hormones, and get them to send something that's inappropriate. And maybe the intent is just for sextortion. They're just trying to get money and not necessarily child porn. But then you have the ones coming after the females who are going to speak to their need for validation, tell them that they're beautiful, or start a relationship that way. But with all offenders, grooming is what happens. It's the same. So whatever it is that the child responds to and considers their currency, that's what they're going to use. So in Roblox, they're offering Robux.
And you mentioned the process of sextortion. Could you explain what that means? How it works?
Sextortion is the act of soliciting sexual images for the purpose of then threatening to release them if they don't pay. So just like any kind of extortion, give me your lunch money or I'll beat you up. They get them to send an image or video or live stream or something, and they record it, and then they threaten to send it to their families, their friends, news outlets, law enforcement.
The era that we're in with new technology, with AI, with 100 different new applications coming out on your devices every single day makes it extremely difficult for us to combat these predators. I believe child exploitation investigations are underfunded. If we were to see an increase in funding nationwide for these types of cases, you would see a significant decrease in the amount of CSAM going around, and you would see a significant increase in people being arrested, prosecuted, and jailed because they're conducting these types of crimes.
Can you explain what CSAM is for anyone who doesn't know, and why trying to combat that versus narcotics is such a different game?
CSAM is child sexual abuse material. Combating CSAM as opposed to combating the narco trafficking is very sensitive. The United States is widely known as the major consumer of narcotics and illicit substances, and we lose hundreds of thousands of U.S. citizens a year to narcotic overdoses. One of the big ones that we're trying to combat now is fentanyl. On the flip side, CSAM, the child sexual abuse material, these are little kids. They're not voluntarily having sex with adults. They're not voluntarily taking off their clothes and masturbating at 6 years old. They don't know what they're doing. They're afraid. They're being forced to do these things. These are the real victims. They're waking up in the morning in the hands of a trafficker, and they're being exploited, and they're being fucked. Even before all of this started blowing up on social media, you would see it in these shows like Dance Moms or Cheer Moms, and these little girls dancing and cheerleading, and the moms all over, national televised shows. And, every Thursday night you can tune into the Dance Moms or Cheer Moms, and you have a little 8-year-old girl doing splits on national TV, and she's wearing extremely tight clothes, and these parents, they don't care. They think it's cool to exploit their kids for fame or for money or whatever it is, but you can see how it is the exploitation of these kids already. That Cheer Mom has that same mentality. Oh, my daughter, she's fine. She's not doing anything inappropriate. Doing splits on national TV, showing her ass, twerking, millions of people watching this. It's the same concept now as the guy in his house asking, Girl Scouts to pose for child erotica type pictures in their bikinis and showing their Girl Scout cookies. And as long as they're not showing their vagina, they're good to go, but their Girl Scout cookies are covering their nipples.
So you think child exploitation has become basically a part of American pop culture?
I believe so. Back in the day, you had Dateline To Catch a Predator. Everyone, the entire country would watch that 1 hour of Dateline, and it was coming out every week. Just people wanted to see predators get caught.
What can you tell me about sex tourism and what HSI does to combat that?
HSI is on the forefront of combating sex tourism all across the globe. The main consumers are going to be United States citizens. They travel to countries that are usually poor because the American dollar goes a long way. These sex tourists can buy underage kids to fuck them, and they produce child pornography, and then they distribute it amongst themselves and amongst their community.
So to go full circle back to immigration, now we can see how devastating it could be if an HSI agent was pulled off one of these cases that you just explained to go deport a non-violent criminal.
Do you have any colleagues who've quit?
Yes. I have colleagues who have changed agencies. I have colleagues who've quit altogether.
Have you considered quitting?
I have.
I stay here in this job and keep doing my job because someone has to do it. When this particular pendulum swings back, there has to be good agents, good AUSAs, good whatever left to do the work.
I have considered quitting multiple times. However, I am extremely passionate about protecting our children.
And after all of this, do you ever regret joining?
Same answer I gave when I left my police department. I never regret being in law enforcement because I've been blessed to actually help save lives. I've handled child abuse cases. I've gotten very bad people off the street. And that's kind of the goal as a police officer is really getting bad people off the streets that harm our community. So I will never regret joining it because at the end of the day, I helped people be where they are today. And if it wasn't for me, they might not even be here still.
And you joined ICE because of the Shadow Wolves. So can you tell me a little bit about what that is?
Shadow Wolves for a long time was a component of HSI, but they weren't 1811s when they started out. They were ATL1s.
So for those who don't know, the Shadow Wolves are a Department of Homeland Security and I guess ICE who work on the U.S.-Mexico border, particularly the Tohono O'odham Reservation, which borders the U.S. and Mexico. And they use ancient pre-colonial tribal tracking techniques to stalk mostly narcos through the Sonora Desert and arrest them.
Mostly human traffickers. Shadow Wolves are an all-native special sector of ICE that combats human trafficking on reservations and borderlands.
So the Shadow Wolves primarily work the border where it connects to the reservations. So having Native Americans work the res, you have someone that is familiar with the community. They might not give you as much grift as they would an outsider because they kind of know you. And then you have the elements of understanding the locals' language and the land. You're always going to have a home field advantage working in your hometown versus somebody that's never been in your hometown because you know the little shortcuts. So that's kind of like the idea behind why you'll have a preference towards hiring Native Americans for that unit, is that if you're working on the reservation, you're able to do some amount of effective work when it comes to drug trafficking, human trafficking, weapons trafficking. In the reservations, like, there's a lot of issues. Like, it is a hot pot when you go down that road. Like, you have issues regarding law enforcement and the fact that they never always handle case well. You also have the factor of how the government set it up for the FBI and other federal agencies where legal powers of jurisdiction comes into play so heavily, like of whether or not FBI can investigate, or if the death isn't ruled a homicide, if it rules like natural causes from the elements, like if it goes to the U.S. Marshals, because the U.S. Marshals just started their program where they help assist with murder or missing individuals because they can cross the federal and state lines off a reservation into another state. Also, the reservation tribe leaders, where the tribe leaders are corrupt and they kind of don't want to admit where they kind of have their own people playing an issue, because when it comes to child abuse, sex trafficking, much like the Tim Brown Foundation had talked about, a lot of the offenders are typically family members or people know within the community. As much as it's sad to say, a lot of times a child-based sex.
Tim Ballard is not a great example to use. He has kind of been found guilty of a lot of that same shit, so it's whatever, it's whatever.
Offender is someone that you know.
Did your heritage play a part in your decision to join ICE?
Yes, Yaqui tribe plays a role in the Shadow Wolves and the element of ICE because of the reservation's location to the border.
There's a huge cartel presence on reservations, particularly here in Arizona, but also up in Montana.
Yes, of course. That, you know, the cartel, that's where a lot of this trafficking comes from. But this has been reported before. You know, human trafficking and child exploitation amongst like native women is a huge issue.
Human trafficking of Native women is one of the most unreported cases in the country. You know why that is?
I think a lot of it has to do with, like, one, like, the community doesn't really trust law enforcement in the United States government, which you can't really blame them because you have a lot of abuse, racism, and mistreatment throughout the years by the government towards them. But then you also have the elements of, much like the Tim Bow Foundation talked about, like, certain types of offenders are people that you know in the community, and having that hard conversation of like looking at people that, where people don't want to have that hard conversation and be like, hey, certain times the people that are trafficking these women and children within this community are people that we know within the tribes themselves. So I think that also plays a role in why it's not as reported, because you'll have tribal members that are the criminals that don't want that information to get out, so they'll try to suppress it by kind of like playing the game of messing with the politics of where they'll target the tribal leaders and go after them.
In your original interview with Carl, you mentioned that the government is a rite of passage for Native people, a way off the reservation, a path to leadership. Can you explain that a little bit more?
So usually, like, every tribe is different, but like for a lot of tribes to kind of get to that chief role or a leadership role, you have to meet certain objectives that your tribe sets out in order for you to get to those spots. So a lot of tribal members usually go into the military, not usually law enforcement, but law enforcement, you do have us there. And in the military, it gives you that life experience. You're able to complete a certain amount of the tasks that your tribe has set out for you. It is a way off the reservation because a lot of times, like, you're so poor and there's not a lot of resources to easily close to the reservation that you're usually stuck there if you don't take the opportunity from the government to get off.
And is there other ways to accomplish like that same amount of rite of passage?
When there's a will, there's a way. It's just harder because the resources aren't entirely there. And based on where your reservation is, it can be even harder reaching outside of it to find jobs and work the areas you need to work on.
Again, like, a big theme of this trip is that we're learning what ICE really is and what ICE does, and that's like a perfect example. ICE has an all Native American, you know, anti-human trafficking group that's like using ancient tracking techniques to like take down the bad guys. Like, that's pretty fucking cool.
I see this piece as being pretty much totally nonpartisan, because whether you're like a close the border, stop the immigration guy, or if you're like a no one's illegal on stolen land guy, it's beneficial to everybody to understand exactly what ICE is, how the departments are divided, and what they do.
No matter what side you're on, if you're the most fuck ICE person ever, if you're the most pro-law enforcement person ever, like, very important that we understand what we're talking about before we take such strong opinions.
Channel 5 live worldwide, Hollywood and Vine. Fuck the authority, Channel 5 News. Channel 55. We don't fuck with custers. And 5 is the best number.
Alex Preddy.
Oh, that was a good one. Senor, you're still there? Are you still there? Are you still... Senor Captain, can you hear me? Yeah, you are there. Thank you for always being in the chat. We feeling some more videos? Dude, we tried so hard and got so far, but it didn't even matter. Nobody came to the stream except for us. We'll just have to try again next week. Yeah, it's been fun. I think we'll try harder next week. Seem to be getting some attention, but I think maybe this week I cross promote on Blue Sky and Twitter the whole time. We'll see. We'll see. I need to do a little bit more. Also, I need to publish a Pixar It Didn't Happen bounty. Yes. Yes. I think that's the move. Picks. And then fucking article. Alright. See you guys next week. Bye-bye. Can I bring in JavaBoo as a guest next? Probably it will help the stream. JavaBoo is a little bit preoccupied with a lot of people. Maybe he could help, but he's a little less active these days. See you next Monday. I'll ping JavaBoo to help promote the cast. Maybe that'll help us. But yeah, I would love to have you a little bit more friends to chat with, and I really like the interactivity. So we go at the pace we go at. All right, we're going with the flow. And whenever people start coming around, that's when we'll ramp things up and really start distributing. You know what I mean? All right. Thanks, Senor Captain. We'll send you some tips on the timeline. Keep us coming together. Goodbye.